Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today for a very much so overdue video. We are back today with another Rank 3 Ultimate Showcase video. It has been a minute since I've been keeping up with these Rank 3s. If you want a quick look at my current roster of Rank 3s, everybody from Magneto up is currently Rank 3. As you can see, I have a bunch of videos to make, but today we are doing our Rank Up a Gameplay video of Guillotine 2099. Now, at this point, I've ranked her up 3 months or more ago, maybe 4 months, possibly even 5 months ago. It has been quite a long time. Maybe not 5 months, but it has been quite a long time since she was ranked up. So I have the footage somewhere on my other computer. Just imagine I'm ranking her up and leveling her up right here, but she is rank 3, level 45, and we have a lot of endgame bosses and endgame footage to show you today, and we're very excited to do so. I'm sorry this video took so long to get out there, but you know what? The next one's going to be Magneto, and I feel like that one's going to be a little bit more fun for me to make, so I don't think I'll be procrastinating that one as much as I did this one, alright? So, with all that being said, why don't we go ahead and jump over to some of the gameplay right now. So, as I very often like to do in these Ultimate Showcase videos, we are going to be starting today with the big boy, the 6.2 champion boss, and we're going to have some support with this one here, okay? So, we're putting on the, what's it called? We're putting on the pre-fight that allows every 20th hit to be a guaranteed crit. Without that, she will never crit. Guillotine 2099, if you do not know, will never land a critical hit, okay? So Guillotine's been out for a while now. She's not necessarily a new champion at the moment, so I feel like a lot of you guys already know how she works, right? You already know how she works, so I don't think you need like too much explanation there. But one thing that we have on here is the 200% tech power back boost. Now, this is usually a boost that doesn't really synergize too well with Guillotine because she doesn't crit, but with this pre-fight, when you throw your special 2 at an interval of 19, so 119, 139, 159, etc., 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 the entire special 2 is going to be critical, and you're going to be gaining a bunch of power back, and we're going to take a look at that in just a second here, right? So make sure you keep a lookout every time we get to that interval of 19, okay? Now, this is going to be a bit of a long fight. We're not going to watch the whole thing here, because the thing is, Guillotine doesn't have too much to, you know, keep up with the champion's unstoppable buffs, so his fury buffs go crazy, but watch this big special 2 here. Very, very nice. But the thing is, his regeneration is about to start getting out of control. So this is about a 5 or 6 minute fight, and it does actually come down to the wire here. But what this is essentially, it's just a testament to how strong Guillotine gets once she gets ramped up. And that's what we're going to be checking out today. Again, watch this. We're about to go for the big special 2 in the intervals of 20, okay? So check this out right here. We're going to go for it right when he dashes in. We're going to parry first. Another big special 2. As we can see, that power back boost is very, very nice to have. But the champion is going to go ahead and regenerate once again. And that regeneration is only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger as the fight goes along. By the way, the special 1 has a power drain if you didn't know. So in the meantime here, why don't we talk a little bit more about Guillotine and what she can do. Actually, we'll do that after this fight. We'll do that when we have like a bit of a longer fight that we're going to watch the whole thing. Let's just watch Guillotine take down the champion here, because we are going to cut towards the end of the fight a bit here once the regeneration gets even crazier. So as you can see, we're getting him down below like 40% here, and he's just regenerating all of it back, okay? So that's pretty much how this fight works with somebody who can't control the nullification. But I believe that was a 25k heavy attack crit there with that pre-fight. But check this out now. We're now up to 268 hits. Keep in mind we started at 100, so this is really 168. But look at how he just regenerated all of that back. We can't hit him while he's unstoppable here, of course. But yeah, this is where the fight gets really, really rough when he has 8 persistent charges. But look at all that passive damage. That's passive damage of about 12k. Look at this giant special 2, taking him all the way down to 10% health. Really, really good stuff. Now we just have to do the dexing, and we're going to be good to go. All right, so if we can potentially get just 2 more dexes, that's going to be it for the champion boss. There's the second one. We didn't get the third one there. We're gonna have to do 1 more dex, but that's fine. We have 8% health. We have just enough to get through this fight here. We don't have any of the lifesteal or the power burn pre-fights on, but that's totally fine because we're gonna go for a big special 2 right here, and that is going to be it for the 6.2 champion boss, completely flushed down the toilet by a rank 3 Guillotine 2099. Alright guys, pretty good start there. Up next, you know, like we like to do, we're going to be going for Mordo. Now, this fight wasn't too clean here in the beginning. I ended up, like, trying to go, you know, a little bit, you know, trying to be a little conservative with it, do it a little efficiently, and then I realized I just gotta nuke this guy down, so you'll see that as we go along here, alright? So what I'm gonna put on here, I'm going to get rid of my armor up buff because that happens when you use 2 pre-fights, okay? The armor up buff is gone at that point, so I have I have 2 pre-fights on here. Now here's what's really funny. This kind of threw me for a loop right at the beginning here. The do not go gentle, you start with 20 because with Guillotine, if you're ramped up, you start with 100 combos, so that's 1 per every 5, okay? And at first I was thinking to myself, like, I gotta get rid of all of these things, so I'm trying to intercept, do a lot of heavy attacks, but then I thought to myself, like, after a few seconds here, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to keep up with this whatsoever, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I just have to nuke him down. So at this point, I'm activating the combo shield right that way when he goes for this special 3. It's not going to get rid of my combo, okay? So we're gonna eat a special 3 here, but that's okay because Mordo he doesn't hit too hard. He really doesn't. He never does, ever, anywhere in the game. So yeah, we're eating that special 3. That's totally fine. But now there's 2 regens and 2 furies on Mordo, but that's totally cool. We're not too concerned with it. We have the White Max pre-fight, so we can hit him while he's stunned. And at this point, we're just gonna try to nuke this guy down like we like to do, okay? When he goes into his little power gain phase, we're just gonna go ahead and heavy him like that. Now, the special 2, we didn't get the giant crit in the beginning, but that's totally fine. As you can see, Mordo's already down to almost 40% health. Guillotine starts hitting really, really hard at this point. As you can see, there's a lot of passive damage, as well as the damage over time from all of the... Every time she would crit, she places a degen on the opponent, and it just gets stronger and stronger as the fight goes along. But watch this, we're going to go for a huge, huge special 2 here, and that's basically going to be it. We have Heimdall with us, but of course, as you guys know with this fight, what you do in this fight is you just bring somebody else in and you just finish it off. So I figured Morningstar is the perfect champion to go in and just tap Mordo. However, unfortunately, he tapped us first and he tapped us once again, but here comes Heimdall with the indestructible and the unstoppable, and boom, there we go. So those are 2 very, very specialized, specific, very, very hard Act 6 bosses, possibly the hardest bosses in all of Act 6, depending on, you know, how you view it. And she just got through them pretty much with raw damage alone. But let's see how she does against a health pool of like around 500,000 health, a little bit more than above average endgame health pool here with no nodes whatsoever. This is a Realm of Legends. We can't really do Winter Soldier because you start at a 0 combo at the beginning of the quest. If you don't know how she works, this is, by the way, a perfect opportunity to talk about how Guillotine works. If you end the fight with a special 3, you're going to start the next fight at a 100 combo. If you don't do that, it's fine, but the next fight is going to be very, very boring in the beginning until you get to about 100 hits, because that's when you start doing a lot of that passive damage, and that's when you start really starting to hit hard with the degen, right? Or the damage over time becomes more potent is probably a better way to say that. Well, let's talk about more of what she does, okay? If the opponent is at 5% health or less, the special 3 is going to be a guaranteed kill, unless there is some sort of damage cap, like on Rage or in Labyrinth of Legends or Abyss, for example, then you have to account for that, or even Safeguard. Her special 2 has a nice heal reversal, which is really, really nice to have. Special 1 has a nice power drain, and if it doesn't hit the opponent, it's going to do double of what it would drain. So there's a lot of stuff that she can do. Her pre-fights, she has 3 pre-fights. She has a life steal on medium, power burn on medium, and also the guaranteed crit every 20 hits, okay? For her regeneration, when she drops below 15% health, if you have 2 of her persistent charges available, it's going to heal you up a bunch. Only 1, half of that, and 0, none. And the same thing with her armor up. She's going to have it if she has at least 1 persistent charge available, 0 armor ups if they're all gone. So that's Guillotine. That's how she works. I'm sure a lot of you guys already knew that. She's a robot. She's double immune. And since she is a robot and she's double immune, we can bring along the Warlock and Ultron synergy here and get a Fury buff every single time we're going to get a poison from Caustic Temper here, and we can completely nuke down 6.2 Mr. Sinister like it's absolutely nothing. All right. So yeah, we're gonna take a big advantage of you know, the power burn here on the special one. Watch, just like for example, because there's also, whenever a buff expires on Guillotine, he's going to gain 5% of his power here. So we really don't want the special 2 concussion. So as you can see, we have the power burn pre-fight on whenever we use a medium attack, but also at the same time we're taking full advantage of that special 1 here to make sure he never gets pushed above 2 bars of power. Okay, we have my big head here blocking that, so I wanted to just go ahead and show that. But as you can see here, when you go into a boss fight, like a tough boss fight, fully ramped up, you get through it in about like 53 hits. So it's almost 400,000, almost 500,000 health. A very, very tough boss fight, and she just completely nuked through it. That's definitely very impressive. Speaking of tough boss fights, let's go for the Havoc in 6.3.3. I believe that's what it is. Same thing here, we're going to go for the power burn as well. In normal situations, I really like the lifesteal, but for, you know, anything that's worth showing in this video, very often we don't need the lifesteal. But if I'm just using her like in a quest, I'm usually going to activate that lifesteal because it makes her super duper suicide friendly, where you can just spam your specials as well like it's absolutely nothing. But the power burn against Havoc is going to be really, really nice because every time you burn his power, he's going to lose all of his charges. Not that it really matters because Guillotine has the armor up buff as well, but there is crumbling armor here, so I don't think I ever lose my armor up buff in this fight. But if I were to lose it, I could just get rid of all of the plasma buildup on Havoc with 1 medium attack like it's nothing. So that's really, really nice to have. Looking back at it, it might have been useful to, actually no, I was going to say it might have been useful to put on the guaranteed crit as well, but then I would have lost my armor up buff, so no, it wouldn't have been, because it's better to just get through the fight safely, control his power, and yeah. So this fight, it's not the toughest boss in the world, but you certainly need a very specific counter for it. You need a very strong Havoc counter for this fight, because this is definitely one of the most juiced up Havocs in the entire game. I feel like he doesn't get as much credit as being a very tough endgame boss, but he is very tough. But yeah, as you can see, that power burn just really, really, really comes in handy here. You can see how it, right here, we're going from, look at that, from red to yellow to red to yellow to red to yellow. So the special 1 power burn and the medium power burn is really, really, really nice. It makes it very, very safe here for you to just push them to a special 3. Again, red into yellow, red to yellow, and he's just not throwing the special 3. So it makes Guillotine a very good power controller as well, and I feel like that's something that is very underrated with her. But yeah, again, another endgame boss in under 100 hits. Keep in mind, there is the prerequisite of ramping her up first, which is something I don't always enjoy. I don't love that about this champion, and it made making this video not too fun, to be entirely honest with you. I don't love that first fight with her, which is why I usually opt to not use her too often, especially for me. I do a lot of legend runs and stuff like that, so I'm never really going to use her in a legend run. I don't use her too often in like Alliance War. Occasionally I'll bring her to AQ occasionally as well, but it's just that first fight. I hate it. I hate the first fight so much, but she's so powerful once you ramp her up, man. And if you do it properly, you can end every fight with a special 3, and she's just so good once you ramp her up. I can't deny how good she is. That's why I brought her to rank 3, but unfortunately I just don't use her as much as I liked her. If she could have a synergy in the future, man, that lets her start with like at least, I don't know, a 75 combo or an 80 combo, I would like her so much more. But yeah, this is variant 3 Kang. We actually went into this fight with 0 ramp up, just to show you every fight that I've done so far, except for probably the champion boss, you can do not ramped up. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but you can do it not ramped up, okay? And as you can see, we skip forward in the fight here. This is a tough fight because she doesn't have anything going on here to stop Kang's healing. If you don't know how this Kang works, I pause it real quick because we're about to nuke him down. But if you don't know how this Kang works, every 20 seconds, essentially he goes back to full health. So you have to do almost 500,000 health with a tech champion, preferably. in 20 seconds, unless you have a passive heal block or an incinerate or a shock, right? So if we were ramped up, let's say we're 159 hits in, and now we're about to do all that damage in the course of 20 seconds. Let's watch it. Huge special 2 here. Look at the red numbers. That's very important. The red numbers are very, very, very important here, okay? They're ticking for about 12k per hit, okay? Not even counting the degen that's now ticking for even more. That's just the passive damage. And look at his health bar, man. His health bar is just getting drained. Completely drained. So yeah, she's very, very powerful. She's a very, very powerful champion. I don't think anybody can deny that. She has a lot going on. Let's see how she does against a much larger health pool, because that's really what she's designed for. You know, she came out right before Abyss. I remember being at Comic-Con that year, and I was talking to some of the Kabam folks about it. And this was before I was really a content creator in the CCP and everything. I talked to them all the time, but I was talking to them and I was like, so this Guillotine, it was the month of Guillotine, Elsa, and Man thing, and I was like, this Guillotine seems like really strong. Like, do you make her for like Abyss? Because Abyss was coming out soon at that point. And they were like, oh, you know, Guillotine's gonna be, you know, she's gonna have her place in the future, but Aegon is still our baby, right? And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I would think that like Guillotine would be the answer for the Abyss coming out soon, right? And Guillotine is not the best in the Abyss, guys, because, you know, the thing is, for the first 100 hits of the first fight, she doesn't really hit for much at all. And in Abyss, with a rank 3 6-star, let's just say, for example, you get about 260 hits. So once you're ramped up, you'll only get 160 hits. Unless you start, you know, the previous fight with the special 3, then you're going to have 260 very strong hits. And if you just do like parry heavy, for example, which yes is boring, but for Abyss, that's kind of what you have to do with a lot of champions. Then she could be decent for it, but at the end of the day, her mechanics rely on like, her damage caps out at 600, and you're never going to get to 600 with a champion like Guillotine and Abyss. You could do it with She-Hulk and Stealthy and Spider-Gwen and Shang-Chi and technically, you know, Red Guardian, Sorcerer Supreme, anybody else who has a consistent slow. But we're still like yet to see that content released since Guillotine's been released, where she's really going to be able to hit that cap. There's been videos out, like Metal Sonic Dude made a video of Guillotine versus Maestro, where she hits the 600 cap and we see how powerful she is, and she's incredibly powerful at that point. But we're yet to see content released with health pools that high, where it's realistic to use Guillotine in a way where she could reach that max potential. And it's interesting to me, because it's like, why have it? Why have her reach that ceiling, and why give her all this utility, and why make her such a powerful champion if she doesn't really get to utilize that damage and that utility? As you can see, she's rinsing Old Man Logan here in 117 hits thus far. He's down to 35% health. Keep in mind, Old Man Logan has over 1.5 million health. And this is a huge special too now. I mean, his health bar is just completely draining, keep in mind. And we're also reversing that very small healing the entire time too, which is very funny. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know, guys. It's interesting to me, is all I'm saying. It's interesting. I wonder if we're ever going to see the content where she really, really shines. And Labyrinth is that content. She's great in Labyrinth, but that's old content at that point, and there are other champions who can do it very well. So I'm just waiting for that piece of content where my rank 3 Guillotine is going to shine. But as you can see, we've thrown many, many special 2s in this fight for recoil with the Suicide Masteries, and with the Life Steal pre-fight, we have a full solid yellow bar. So she's very, very suicide friendly when you play her with this pre-fight, and I love that. I think that's really cool. Very, very powerful champion. But let's move on to a couple more endgame bosses here. This is a fun one. Quick and easy fun one. This is the Icarus Omega Red in 6.2. You guys know Icarus. We're about to just nuke this guy down like it's nothing. We're going in with a ramped up 100 combo. We're getting all the fury buffs, and oh boy, we're about to do some massive damage, guys. We're not worrying about the degen from the Icarus. We're just gonna let it tick. That's how we do this fight. With Omega Red, we're a robot, so we're a good Omega Red counter. We're also a really good Apocalypse counter, by the way. By the way, I should mention that in Alliance War, when there is an Apocalypse boss in the past on what's this even called? The one with the large and extra large defenders. I already forgot. Protect? Yeah, I think Protect. We usually send a Guillotine 2099. In the future, we'll probably just send Ghost and nuke him down again. But Guillotine was a great option for Apocalypse bosses in Alliance War. I find Guillotine to be very good for content like Alliance War. However, she's not really my champion in Alliance War, so I don't get to use her too often. I don't really want to use her too often either way, so I'm not really complaining there. But just saying, that's where I see Guillotine really shining nowadays. But anyway, here's that 6.1.1 Sabretooth boss. This guy's a lot tougher than he gets credit for, and Guillotine just completely nukes him down too, man. He's tough because he has Oscillate. He's tough because you can't reverse his healing. You can block his healing, so that heal reversal that we have right now, we're actually blocking his healing. But yeah, Guillotine is just, there's so much damage here. I think I fought this guy in my rank 2 Guillotine video back in the day. But yeah, he's just, we're nuking him down. That's really all there is to it. There's some no retreat damage happening, but we're not too concerned with that. But look at how big the special 2 is, even without the crits, guys. That's just a nice special 2. A really, really nice special 2. At this point, he's just about dead. And by the way, one more thing I should mention about Guillotine is when you use heavy attacks, you get a combo shield as well. And if you have 2 persistent charges, you could have 6. If you have 1, you could have 4. And if you have 0, you could have 2. So those are always, I find those to be very important to have on you. Here comes the regen, by the way. Very, very lucky there. I find it very important to have on you in case you do get hit, so you don't completely get, you know, have to start over from scratch. But yeah, guys, I think this is the last fight here. I think this is that, you know, Crossbones, that's pretty much the gate between you and the Cavalier title at this point. It's 6.1.5. We're going to go in here with the White Magneto pre-fight. Definitely don't need it, but we are a metal champion, so we're going to take advantage of it. But Guillotine's actually pretty good for this fight. I was kind of surprised how good she was for this fight. There is power struggle here, so you're not going to be able to use too many specials against this guy. But you'll see here, I mean, the degens that Crossbones does not shrug off, they tick pretty hard, man. They tick pretty good. And also at this point, the passive damage is really what we're looking for. There's nothing that's taking away that passive damage here from us. And we're just getting this guy down slowly but surely. And yeah, she's doing really good for this fight. She's definitely doing really good for this fight. Because at this point, what you need for this fight is a poison immune champion. And she's definitely poison immune. And you need somebody to out damage the Arc Overload or the Vigor, whatever it's called. And she's definitely doing that as well. So, you know, he starts to hit kind of hard with the Fury buffs, which could be a little annoying, of course. And also reducing our defensive ability accuracy, so the parries are failing and whatnot. But yeah. We have the armor up as well, which is really, really nice to have against like that special 2. It's definitely a very strong armor up too. But Crossbones is down to 50% health at this point. And he's just about to go down at this point because our damage keeps going up and up and up and up and up. So Guillotine is definitely a really good option for this. When I was looking at like endgame bosses for this video, there weren't too many endgame bosses that I was like, Guillotine can't do that fight. So that's the thing. She's a very, very versatile and powerful champion. I don't always love to use her, but watching this video, you just can't deny how good she is, and that's why I ranked her up, and I'm sure in the future I will use her more when there's content with super high health pools. I'm sure she'll be very good for it. But yeah, guys, that's really going to be it for this Ultimate Showcase video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Very sorry for the wait. I think I just subconsciously have been putting it off because I just don't enjoy playing with this champion too much, to be entirely honest with you. But we did it. We got it out of the way. We got the video done. I do hope it was worth the wait. I do hope you enjoyed it. People have been asking for this video for so long, but guess what? It is finally here, and you just watched it. So congratulations. You watched 21 minutes of Guillotine 2099 just completely nuking down endgame bosses. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do hope it was worth it. If you enjoyed this video, please do your boy a favor and drop a big ol' like. These videos take a very long time to make, a lot of effort to make, so all the support is very much so appreciated. Share it with your alliance. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button, put it in your favorites, put it in watch later. Do all the stuff for the YouTube algorithm. I would really appreciate it, man. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of those rank 3 showcases coming to you in the near future. We got the Magneto one coming up next. We just duped Magneto 2, so maybe that's why I was waiting. I was waiting to dupe Magneto. I knew it was going to happen, all right? But anyway, my dudes, it's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed it, drop all the likes, drop all the comments, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'll be seeing you around.